black screen. Well, now what? Man, when's that? God, that Russ comes out next week. Needs to hurry up. Need something to play. When I get off here, I'm going to watch another episode of that terrible show. That little boy sobbed the whole episode. United Kingdom is goofy, bro. They're goofy as fuck, bro. They're so fucking goofy. You said he sent me $1. Where? I don't see no dollar. Where you send $1 at? I don't see no dollar. What's he talking about? Maybe send it on Venmo. No, I don't have $1. Must have super chat or something. God, I should have streamed from the other phone because this one's not logged into Twitter. Oh well. I know I said Trump. Of course, Trump knew that there was going to be an attack. That's what I'm saying. Him and Netanyahu have been fighting about this behind the scenes. It was in the news. I can't remember what my Venmo is. Fuck, off the top of my head. PayPal is Smokeydogg216@gmail.com. That's a PayPal. Cash App Smokeydogg7. Rogue, what's my Vidbo? What is that Vidbo? I don't know. Is the stream lagging and shit? Should I just get off for the night? I'm not into spicy shit. I like regular Cheetos. I actually ate a bag of Cheetos earlier. Small little bag. Lime Cheetos? Oh, that don't even sound good. That's a weird little combination. Hey, that bill. That's the other stream. Where's the... We're not even live right now. How are you all even in here? I can't even find this. What the? What the? Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, it's supposed to be black. Where the fuck is this stream at? What is going on? This is crazy. There it is. Where the fuck? What the? Where the fuck? Surprised this blunt actually it worked. Actually, it actually was a solid blunt. To be honest with you. Sometimes they don't hit. You know, they just look. It's terrible. You know. This one.
Right there, though, was like, there's always literally in that order.
What the hell? Man, there's some weird ass live streams. What's going on? Oh, damn, how many people's playing WWE? Fuck. Oh, here's the protest right here. Look. They got Mexican flags. Where's this at?
Not that much traffic coming this way. Sorry.
Crazy. So fucking weird, man. They're all out there waving like Mexican flags. There's a bunch of foreign flags out there. Like, what is going on, dude? And everybody honking the horns. Like all these people are like into these illegals being here. I'm glad the mask is finally off, though. I will say that about liberals. Like, they're starting to finally just be honest about what they actually want. Remember how I used to argue with them and I'd be like, you're for open borders. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Remember all that stupid bullshit? And now, like, obviously they are. Like, if you're not for open borders, then how can you? What do you think illegals are coming? Like, so you're not for open borders, but we can't deport people that come over the border unless they're bad, really bad people. And even then, they don't want those people to go either. I mean, they've defended so many of the ones that are actually bad people with crime. They've done crimes. And liberals spent the first half of the year defending people like that. Now they want to turn around and be like, whoa, now he's deporting decent people who just work and have a job and stuff. Now this ain't right. And that would, that might mean something if they didn't spend the first half of the year defending every criminal that got deported and getting bent out of shape about it. Remember that one fat fucking bitch that got busted? She was dealing fentanyl, and she was an illegal alien, and they put her picture up, and the liberals was crying for, oh, that poor woman. That's so cruel to make fun of this fentanyl dealer. Now, I see a lot of people like saying how, oh, Trump he's failing, is this and that. You guys are so clueless about what's happening around you. It's fucking hilarious to me. In just 6 months, Donald Trump has made liberals start to say, and they're saying this right now, you can find it all over Twitter. If he wants to deport deporting criminals is one thing. We can all get behind that, but you can't deport these people that are working jobs. They're saying that now. They're starting to give up on the criminals. They're starting to just... And the Maryland man is going to be the nail in the coffin of all that, because the Maryland man is in court right now. They're going to convict his ass, and he's going back to El Salvador. And then maybe you'll learn your lesson on, just freaking out about guys that are clearly gang members. The guy's a gang member. The guy was trafficking people and shit. They got evidence on him. He was trafficking. Get over it. Quack. So nobody's really taking you serious now as you're having a fucking nervous breakdown about, oh, that somebody had a job and they got deported. Oh my God. We have never been against deported. That's not true. That's just not true. We've done several streams about you people losing it because violent criminals were being deported. Why pretend otherwise? Like that shit literally just happened a few months ago. What a lie to tell. It's crazy. You can't lie like that, man. You can't lie about something that literally happened a few weeks ago. See, you're getting way too arrogant and bold with your lying, and I'm going to tell you once again, that is why you keep losing to Trump. That is exactly the main reason. People just won't accept that. All the lying doesn't work anymore. It doesn't work anymore. Everyone's wise to it. And they're sick of it. That's why I said after the election, you got to do a complete change. You've got to change behavior. You've got to make drastic changes. You've got 2 years to get ready for the midterms. And you've mind-fucked yourself into believing that Trump doing what he said he's going to do is going to piss people off that voted for him. I don't know why you are living in that fantasy world, but that's not going to help you win either. You got to come to reality. I said it right after the election. You've got to immediately come to reality. You've got to stop the trans issue, throw it under the bus. You've got to throw the border under the bus. You've got to throw the illegals under the bus. And you've got to start working on getting young men back, getting people, normal people back to a position where they'd be willing to vote for you. You've got to start thinking about a candidate for 20. You got to get serious. And you have not got serious. You've actually got more unserious. You've gotten worse. And you can argue with me and you can cry and whatever the hell. But I've been right more than I've been wrong. So go right ahead, I guess. Right. Thank you for the $1, Anthony. Anthony! I have a nephew named Anthony. I don't know a lot about the guy the assassination of the politicians today. I heard it was a Democrat that did it, but now it seems like he was a Trump supporter. Seems like he was a Republican. based on what I saw on X. Now, I haven't looked into it enough to have all the details down, but I think he's a Republican. Pretty sure. I feel pretty confident telling you that he's a Republican. He voted Trump. And he's apparently some abortion, like a pro-life, like anti-abortion. Like he's a nut job. He's a complete nut. Thanks for the 30. He's a complete fucking nut job. Condemn the violence 100%. The guy that did it should be executed in the town square. Doug, would you like to continue pretending that I defend violent behavior? Would you like to continue to make a fool of yourself as I call for the man's execution? When will you learn, Doug? I don't defend violence. I'm not the violent one. I'm not a Democrat. Oh, the senator being arrested? There was no violence there. That wasn't political violence. I wouldn't call that violent at all. That shit was actually funny as hell. I'm a senator. Jesse Lee was talking about it today. I'm a senator. I'm a senator. Oh, God. Someone made a real good point, too. God, I can't remember who it was. It was somebody on some podcast. God, who was it? I think it might have been PBD. Someone on the PBD podcast. I think that's what it was. But he was like, this shit is so like this senator rushing in during his press conference and making a scene and screaming. It's just like, why can't you act right? Like, you're a senator. Is that how you act? Is that how we're supposed to act? Is that how we want our government to act and like barging in the room, start screaming, carrying on? Dude was like, why don't he schedule a meeting or bring her in front of the committee and ask her questions? That's what you're supposed to do. That's the process. That's what they're supposed to be doing. Storming in, making a scene. And it's so funny that they sent the Hispanic senator. Like, liberals are so obvious with the shit they do with their games. Like, they're sloppy. I've been saying it. They're getting sloppy. It's real sloppy. Because it's obvious. Like, all right, we're going to send this Hispanic senator down, and we want you to make a scene. Make a scene. And that's what he did. Now, if they had any sense, they wouldn't have cuffed him or anything. They would have just been like, oh, look at this client. You know what I mean? But they probably didn't even know who the fuck he was. I mean, just because you're a senator don't mean anybody knows who the fuck you are. You're not famous or nothing, you know. Nobody heard of this guy until now. Nobody knew who he was. And just because he's saying, I'm a senator, just because he's saying that does not mean that he is. It doesn't mean that the security knows. You know what I mean? They don't know who the fuck this guy is. This guy's just trying to walk up. He's like screaming. He's trying to get close to the podium. And it's their job to keep him the fuck back. And they're telling him to get back. They're telling him to go sit down. and he's not listening. Now, if that was me or you, and we were acting like him, they'd have done the same goddamn thing to us. Bobby, I'm a senator. I'm a senator. He's supposed to get special privileges. No, you don't get special privileges because you're a fucking senator. You're just like everybody else. You can ask questions like everybody else. If I go down there and I start screaming and saying, hey, they're going to fucking take me to the ground and cuff my ass. So I'm glad they did the same to you. You're not above the law, sir. I'm a senator. So what? You can go to Trump's house and dig through his wife's panty drawer and fucking make him come and take a mug shot and fingerprints and all this fucking dumb shit. Well, then this nerd can get cuffed in the hallway when he makes a scene, acts like a fool. And we don't give a shit. Ain't nobody shedding no tear for that motherfucker. I wish they'd cuff more of these motherfucking crooked-ass senators. I wish they'd cuff every single one of them in the hallway. And not only cuff them in the hallway, take them to CCOT, where they fucking belong. And I bet we can make a list of Republicans, and this be a bipartisan plane to CCOT. We'll fill it full of fucking crooked bastards. Right and left. And right to CCOT. Bye. I'm a senator. I have some questions to ask. I have questions. This motherfucker's a senator. He's got power. He got the power to have his woman come and ask her questions in front of the committee. You know that, right? He got power. They can do that. But he's acting like you or me. He's acting like some goof who's got no power, and the only thing he can do is go down there and scream at the press conference, make a scene. Grow up. You're a fucking senator. Act like a senator then. Act like you got some damn sense. And I don't want to hear about no founding fathers like Gavin Newsom. The founding fathers would have shot that son of a bitch when he went in there going screaming and squalling and shit. Founding fathers would have put him down. Founding fathers wouldn't be putting up with this shit. Let me tell you. Yeah, the founding fathers are going to be all for carbon taxes. Fucking idiots. You don't know nothing about history. You don't know about anything. They try Gavin Newsom for fucking treason. You fucking kidding me? What a joke. And I'm sure all the racist, slave-owning founding fathers they'd love all these fucking Mexicans being here, wouldn't they? They'd love it. They'd just be like, oh yeah, it's fucking fantastic. They'd say, bring them all in. Bring all these foreigners in. I mean, what? How can you be a liberal and quote the founding, and Gavin Newsom talking about the founding fathers in reference to illegal immigration? They definitely ain't gonna be on your side with that. Are you retarded? They're gonna look around at all these Mexicans and they're gonna be like, what the fuck happened? And then they're gonna find out all these motherfuckers are illegal. They're not even citizens. Then they're gonna be like, what the fuck? Then they're gonna fucking start a goddamn militia and fight you. Because they're not pussies. They're from a different time. You know, a bunch of fucking pussies. They're not gonna have a committee hearing with you. They ain't gonna get on Twitter and go back and forth with you. Is Gavin Newsom retarded? I would love to talk to. I would love to ask him. Like, you really think the founding fathers gonna side with you? Well, the founding fathers wouldn't agree with using ICE to deport these people. Well, the founding fathers would have never let all these people come in here in the first place. That's the part of your argument you're missing. The founding fathers would have never let it get to this point, so they wouldn't even. Drastic time. I keep trying to tell you, drastic times call for drastic measures. You did this. You created this crisis. Don't get mad that it has to be cleaned up in a way you don't like. Get over it. Get over it. I see dumb fucking tweets now. It's like, I don't even care about illegals being here. They're just, yeah, we know that. We know that. The problem is you spent 8 years pretending otherwise. The problem is every time somebody argued with you about this, you pretended you didn't support open borders. Even though your actions and rhetoric showed you did. For some reason, when you argued with people about it and they brought it up, you, instead of just going, yeah, I don't believe in borders. And then all I could say to that is, well, you're just a fucking lunatic, I guess. I mean, but no, the reason we argue with you so much is because you lie. See, these people got it all wrong. They got it all backwards. Oh, you people got to agree with you. No, it's not about agreeing with me. It's about you have to stop trying to manipulate me with your bullshit because it's annoying. I don't care if you agree with me. I just wish you'd be honest and quit trying to bullshit me all the time. You got the border wide open, and then you're like, oh, I'm all for border security. Well, goddamn, could have fooled me. The hell's going on then? Then what the hell's going on? If you were all for border security, how'd we get here? How do we have all these legals for Trump to deport? How do we have so many fucking illegals that they got to raid them and fucking... And they can have raids every day in the same city and just keep catching 1,000 of them. How we get there? If you don't support open borders and I don't, and nobody does, no political party does, then how did we get to here? How did this happen? Dumb fuck. Quit lying. Quit trying to fool everybody. You're not good at it. You're fucking stupid. People who try to manipulate, something I've noticed, and I know people in real life who try to manipulate me too, and I've told them this to their face. You're not good at it, so quit trying. You're not a good manipulator. Maybe you've manipulated some dumb nitwit motherfucker. That's great and everything, but it ain't working on anybody got any sense. Knock it off. Liberals don't have conversations with you. They just trying to figure out how to manipulate you. How to mind fuck you into believing what they believe. They don't want to just have a conversation and understand anything. They want to just fucking... That's why they can't understand your point of view. They ain't trying to. They ain't trying to understand nothing. Something wrong with them. And just like last year, we're seeing this insane cope that we're going to win the midterms. Trump approval. Everybody hates Donald Trump. Nobody likes him. And then he wins in a massive landslide. Then he wins a popular vote. And then all of you pretend like you saw it coming. But I remember arguing with you every day. And you telling me that Kamala was going to win. And that I was crazy. And that Trump had no chance of winning, much less getting the popular vote. That's what you said. And I said, well, just going on the data we have available, he's going to sweep every swing state. It's going to be decimation. No. I seen a Yahoo post said otherwise. These people are retarded, bro. These people send you these stupid fucking polls, and these polls have no credibility. You can look at a list of credible polling. You can look at the polls. There's a graph that goes around social media, and it shows the most accurate poll for 2024 to the least accurate. And you can look at them all and see which poll has credibility and which doesn't. And all these polls that always say, oh, Trump's approval it's all going down. Yeah, these are the same polls told you Kamala was going to win. Or told you it was going to be a close race. It wasn't a fucking close race. She got decimated. I know you cope about it, but Kamala Harris got beat so bad that liberals had to pretend Elon Musk hacked the election. It's just like the assassination attempt. That was so bad for liberals. Like, that woke so many people up that they got to pretend it was fake. They have to pretend it's fake. Anything that really fucks the liberal up, they just pretend didn't happen. They just go into this weird fantasy world where it didn't happen. Liberals are in such a fantasy right now, it's crazy. And it's fascinating. They gather in their areas that they have, like they gather in mass and get these giant crowds in these liberal cities. And then they get on social media and they show pictures of it. I'm telling you, what this was about today is morale. The morale is so low, and they're really trying to get people to see, like, we got numbers, like we still got people on our side, like, because the Democrats are defeated. The Democrats are fucked. And they're trying to rally. They're trying to. But it's just these liberal areas. If you don't live in these liberal areas, you ain't seeing no protests. You ain't seeing nothing going on. Because the majority of the country voted to deport all these fucking people. There's no reason to protest. And we knew it was going to be messy. And we knew we were going to be guilt tripped by the media and shown all these images and everything. We were expecting that. That's nothing. Go ahead. Don't care. Deport all these fucking people. Enough. It's ridiculous. Everybody knows that if we deport all these illegals, it will be a good thing for the country. Everybody knows it. Even the liberal media admitted it. They've admitted it. They buried it in many articles, but the wages will go up. All these things will go up. By the way, I thought the tariffs were going to destroy everything. Nobody talks about tariffs anymore because they were proven wrong on that. Eventually, you will realize the reality of Donald Trump is that you should treat Donald Trump just like you treated every other president, and you should stop hyper fixating on him so fucking much. You should live your life and everything's going to be fine. Let Trump do the job you elected him to do. Quit hyper fixating on it every day. Quit looking for a reason to cry. Quit trying to be a victim and say you got played in some way. Let the motherfucker serve his term. Let things play out. Relax. Just fucking relax. Yeah, liberals are gonna fucking have a protest. That's what they do. That's what they do. Who cares? They keep talking about a king. If Trump was a king, he wouldn't have to do all this fucking shit he has to do to get anything done. Well, he wouldn't need a big, beautiful bill, you fucking retards. He'd just do shit. You keep on, though, you're going to get a king. Liberals want a king, though. They're not going to stop until they get exactly what they want, which is to be decimated. Like, they want to be rounded up and killed. Like, that's like a fantasy or something to them. They want to be sent off to CCOT. They want Trump to kill them. Don't you get that? If Trump actually killed them, it would be like, they'd be ecstatic. Because right before they died, they'd be thinking, oh, this is going to make Trump look so fucking bad. Yeah, he'll be impeached after this. They're insane, man. Like, that's, the TDS runs deep, I'm telling you. If Trump actually killed them, they'd pretend they were mad about it, but they'd be ecstatic. If Trump, like, sent the military in and killed all these protesters, Liberals on Twitter, they ain't gonna tell you, but they would be like, "Holy fuck!" They'd love it. They'd be saying, "Oh my god, it's the greatest thing in the world," because they could use it. People are sick. They're sick in the fucking head. That's why they were cheering on all these riots, because they're hoping that something happens. They're hoping that some protester gets killed or something. Like a protester getting hit with a bean bag or a little pellet or something, getting a little welt on him. That's not. Nobody cares about that. You shouldn't be out there fucking around. Liberals need dead bodies. They know they need that, and it's a death cult. So they don't care about you. You can die. They don't give a shit. They want it so bad. That's why Trump should just let it burn. Let LA burn. Let it burn to the fucking ground. I understand, though, deport all the illegals out of the Democratic areas so you can change the census so they can lose votes. I understand the tactic here. And I understand why liberals they're pissed. They don't want that. If you start deporting a large amount of illegals, it's going to change the census data. It's going to change the voting. It's going to change the delegates and shit. They know that. And a lot of these illegals vote. That's why they don't want voter ID. And that's what Trump's trying to do. I think Trump really feels that if he can deport enough illegals out of like California, that California can flip red. I think he believes that. And he's probably right. He's probably right. And we may very well see that. We may very well see if he can deport enough illegals or get enough illegals to self-deport, if he can get rid of enough of them, get enough of them to go home, and we see Democrats lose a lot of votes in the midterms, a lot of people are going to be asking questions about illegals voting. And if illegals are voting in large numbers in some of these areas, and you deport enough of them, you're going to see the difference in the voting data. It's going to show. You're going to be like, damn, what happened to all these voters? Where'd they go? Liberals, I get the panic. Liberals are fucked right now. They've never been more disliked. They're seen as a joke. They're not taken serious by society. And all their lies are unraveling, and more lies can be exposed the longer this goes on. If you deport millions of illegals out of California and you start seeing red, blue areas flip red, then we're going to know illegals are voting, and we know they're voting. All those voters are going. They're gone. Why else would Democrats cater to illegals so much if they don't vote? Use your brain. Well, Smokey, some nerd in a lab coat, did a study back in 2017, and he found that no illegals vote at all. No illegals at all in his study. I'm sure he found that, I'm sure. I know there's a study for everything, and you got a statistic, and you got all that. But how's that worked out for you, following the statistics and the studies and everything? When it comes to arguing with me, how's that worked out? Hasn't worked out very well for you, has it? You got all the answers, but you're always wrong. It's crazy. I mean, what in the world? I'm about to make that pizza. Red Baron. The Baron. The fucking Baron. California didn't vote for deportations. Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point, I guess. Well, there's a lot of vote. There is a lot of people that voted Trump in California. California is mostly red. There's just like a blue area. If you look at the map, Doug, they're going home. They're going home, Doug. Let Trump do his job. You got to understand, we're in a crisis. The illegal alien issue is a crisis for a variety of reasons. Whether you want to admit that or not is irrelevant. It's just the reality of the situation. So you got to understand, drastic times call for drastic measures, and not everybody's willing to take those drastic measures to solve the problem. But Trump and his team is. And so you should be grateful that you got leadership in there that's willing to do what needs to be done. And it doesn't matter that a bunch of children are crying about it. Nobody's getting killed. Nobody's getting put in a gas chamber. People are getting put on a plane and sent back to the country where they're from because they crossed into this country illegally. This is not inhumane. There's nothing wrong with it. It's the right thing to do for the country and for the citizens of the country. And that's who the president and Congress and all these people represent. They don't represent a motherfucker from Mexico or a motherfucker from Sudan or wherever the fuck these people come from, Guatemala, whatever the fuck. The president and our government doesn't represent them. They represent us. And deporting all these illegals will drive our wages up. There'll be more jobs, etc. Less crime. List goes on. So for the American citizen, it's a positive to deport all these people. And that's all that matters. Doesn't matter how the illegal feels about it. Now you're supposed to be here, guy. Imagine your president putting the illegal before you. No, put him on a plane, send him home. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing inhumane about being put on a plane and sent home. Many will die. Oh, please. Everyone's gonna die. Good Lord. Everyone's not gonna die, Doug. They just say that shit so you'll feel sorry for them and let them stay. Come on, Doug. You're too old to fall for that shit. If these people go home, they'll be killed. If these people go back to Mexico, they'll be killed. Then why are they waving the Mexican flag in the street and telling me how proud they are to be Mexican and how much they love Mexico? A lot of these motherfuckers take jobs up here and then send the money back to the family in Mexico. Like, that's a job for an American, man. Let an American have that job. Keep the money in our country. Like, I'm telling you, when you really look into this issue and you put aside your feelings and your morals and all that bullshit, and you just look at it objectively, like a president should look at it, like a leader should look at it, you realize letting all these illegals be here and shit, it ain't good for the country. And these protests are being funded by these. The irony of leftists defending this is these protests and stuff are being funded by business cocksucking motherfuckers, rich business billionaire motherfuckers who want to use illegal labor because it's cheaper. And I guarantee they're the ones funding this shit. It's crazy, ain't it? Like, see, I'm all for a guy being a billionaire. You can, I'm all for success, but when you're using illegal labor to get to the, see, to me, that's the thing leftists should be against. That's the crooked businessman. But what I've realized is leftists I was never a leftist. I was never a liberal. I just didn't know what a liberal really was. I didn't know what a leftist really was. But it wasn't me. Because I was never against billionaires and people having a business and making a lot of money and being successful and having a yacht and all that bullshit. I don't give a shit. If I had all that money, I'd buy a yacht too and sell around on it. Why not? No, I'm against the shady businessman. I'm against the billionaire that got all that money by fucking everybody over and doing really shady things. And that's the guy hiring illegal aliens. That's the shady businessman. Crazy. My beliefs haven't really changed. It's just I'm more informed. I know more now. And I realize what illegal immigration is. I realize what all this shit is. And I realize it's not good for anyone. It's not good for the illegal. He's getting exploited. It's not good for the country that the illegal came from, because all these people should stay in their country and work to make their country stronger. You know, we hear about they come here to make our country better. What about them going home making their country better? Clearly, their country needs them, needs people like them. And I believe you can't get rich without being shady. But who are you to even say something like that? You support illegal immigration. You support hiring illegal aliens and exploiting their cheap labor. So who are you to say that? What a clown you are to say that, Doug. Anyway, I'm hopping off here. I might jump on the PlayStation and stream something. Goodbye.